What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, it's time for us to take a look at another game that's inspired by Raft. This one takes place in space, though. There are a number of them that take place in space. I can't recall the names of all of them right now, but this is a genre that someone is trying to, be the first arriver on, where, how can I build a floating base in orbit where you pick up garbage the entire time and make stuff out of it? There are a number of different options, all of which are not occurring. Their names right now are not coming to me. I'm thinking about it as hard as I can. The little neurons in my brain right now that are responsible for going through filing cabinets and bringing me the various pop culture references and things I'm aware of that you need to be aware of or need to be told of on the fly. I guess they just took a break today. They didn't get their coffee or something. But I've seen a couple of games with this premise. You are a guy on a foundation floating in orbit of a planet. You gather stuff. You use it to craft. It gets more and more sophisticated. This is the newest in that set of games, called Drift. We're going to be taking a look at it. The developer fired it over this morning. I only played for about 30 minutes just to acclimate myself with the controls and how everything functions so that we wouldn't have any major boo-boos along the way. So treat this as first impressions, but we're going to dive in for about 35 minutes or so and see if it's worth your time. If you wanted to check it out, I'll do my best to give my thoughts along the way. The link for the game, in case you wanted to wishlist it, is down below. And then, of course, on top of that, you'll find a link to my Discord and my Twitch stream, where you are always welcome. Let's start a new game. This game does plan on having multiplayer, and it looks like you can actually use Steam server hosting in order to make a session that other people can join. It looks like you can connect via direct IP as well, and you can also play offline if you so desire. I'm going to play offline for right now because it gets us moving pretty quickly, and we'll see how it all plays out. So, day one in the orbit of an unknown planet. Hello, unknown planet. It looks the same as the last planet that I was around, so I don't think the color or the design of the planet changes. I think it's always like a... Oh, there's a little meteor over here. Hold on. Little asteroid. Would you like to be my friend? I'm just gonna kind of click through the tutorial. It wants me to crush some asteroids right now. So this is the fundamental way that you're gonna be collecting all of your resources in this title. You pick up asteroids as they float by. You crush them. This one gave us 63 metallic copper. This one right here gave us carbonate rocks. So there you go. We've got a couple of calcium carbonate rocks and some copper to play around with. On top of that, we can also go into deconstruction mode if we wanted to, and we can use a little sawzall tool right here in order to get rid of these other busted platforms. They can't be repaired. They can't be messed with. We can fly with our RCS system too, so we aren't confined to walking on top of our base platform. Just be forewarned that in the bottom left-hand corner, we can run out of oxygen while using our RCS because we don't have a dedicated, I guess, jetpack or anything yet. I really like building platforms in this game. Building platforms in this game, it feels, it sounds, and it looks pretty good, and it makes me feel enjoy. Can I get rid of you? Do you need to die? I'll make you die. I don't know if you need to die, but I know that I desire for you to do so. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it. We'll go ahead and put away... Oh no, those aren't rotated right. Well, that's going to bother me. Let's go ahead and just pull those back up. And we'll see if we can... You would think that a grid of squares would be hard to misalign, but somehow I figured out how to do it. It actually looks like they've got a different outside frame to them. Huh. Interesting. I don't know if that, matters or if I should be concerned about that, but I guess I'll think about it later. You there, little rock. I need you. Come with me, little rocks. I require you. Now, it may not look like there's much debris floating around, and there's kind of a reason for that. It's because when I first started the game off, I was getting really bad performance hitching, and it seems to be due to the view distance. Which was maxed out when I started, but you get very, very bad frame drops while that's turned up. It took me a little while to isolate it. I'm not exactly sure what causes the chuggies, but there are some performance things that are going to need to be smoothed out. Some of it may be completely and totally relatable to the fact that my computer is not, the freshest, most spicy computer anymore when it comes to hardware rigs, but it's still able to run everything else, so I'm figuring there's little inefficiencies and whatnot in either rendering or something else that need to be resolved. I'm going to hang out here for a little bit, and I'm going to pick up some stones. I do have enough stuff on me, I think, to make like a crafting rig thing. I don't know what the facing is on the... I'm guessing the side that's got the big glass opening is probably the front. So I'll go ahead and plop that down right there. I don't know what we can make out of it, but it looks like we can actually make more complicated stuff like iron plates and whatnot. So that might be kind of cool. I am a little tiny bit concerned about my oxygen right now. I have like this addiction to breathing, all right? And I finally feel safe to admit it on the internet that like I have a problem, I need to see a specialist, and I would hope that that specialist would allow me to really detox from this affliction that I've had since the moment I was born, but no specialist seems to be forthcoming in order to aid me. It looks like I can also build a smelter. The smelter is quite grandiose though. Which side of the smelter do you figure is the front? The game doesn't give you any indicators to let you know which is the interactable side. Oh, I like the shadow, though. It threw a very dark, very sort of sinister shadow once I put it down, didn't it? Huh, I think I've only got 2 asteroids left. Do I have anything good in here? Not really. Not really. So what does this thing do? Carbon fiber, nutrient paste, and water. So here's the thing, right? Oxygen. Where do you figure that I get that from? Ooh, carbon dust. Apparently I can dust up my carbon and I can further crush some of these things too. So we've got like silicate dust right there. Okay. I'm guessing water is probably the way that we get going with oxygen production. And I have this little scan droid, and it can scan for like water rocks for me. It says that one has a lot of water in it. So like maybe I'll just head him off a little bit. And we'll just kind of grab you, bring you on into my space-bearing experience. Are there any more water around? Necesito agua. I figure like a little bit with the water that I just grabbed. Hey, look at that, dude. It's processing some water for me. Do I want that water? It is a key ingredient. Yeah, I figure like water extracting the hydrogen is probably how we're going to get oxygen, right? I don't know. Robot, do you have any observations about the availability of oxygen in this environment? Look at these big old rocks that came to visit me. Nice, dude. I do have some iron plates that are ready to be processed too. And it's got like a full-on 3D printer animation that it does, sort of like Subnautica style, I guess, when it starts giving you access to new items. Was there anything else in here that I could reasonably get away with? So we need crushed carbon for whatever this filter is. Maybe it can scrub the CO2 up out of my tanks. Maybe it's like a CO2 scrubber. I don't know, but I'm willing to give it a try, because if I don't, I'm going to turn very, very blurpily. Very soon. That's a mixture of blue and purple that is usually endemic to not getting air. And so I'd rather avoid that entire experience, if I'm being honest with you. The filter is indeed how we restore our breathable oxygen. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to crush the ever-loving hell out of this. It doesn't... Is there like a mass crush option? Hold on. Can I mass crush? It doesn't look like I can. So I tried shift clicking. I tried control clicking. I tried click and hold. Doesn't look like there's like a super fast way to crush rocks. They're going to want to add that in, holding down a key and maybe doing like 5 at a time. But we're going to make sure we don't have any filter problems for the foreseeable future, because I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot of flying around here in order to grab my meteors. The game has a very, very unique art style. Like, it's somewhere in between, it's somewhere nestled in between like minimalism when it comes to like, it kind of reminds me, in some ways it reminds me of Rodina, or I've never heard anybody say that game's name out loud, so I don't actually know how to pronounce that game. But like, Rodina had like a lot of minimalism when it came to like its robot design and stuff. But this game takes that a little bit further, and not everything is minimalist. Like, there's definitely detail here. Since I've got like renewable oxygen now, I'm just gonna like fly around and grab huge quantities of rocks. Oh, look at this little guy over here. He's like trying to invade my platform. You're not an invader, little buddy. You're welcome here. I'm just like alone, dude. I need like a Sharpie, and I need to draw a face on some of these stones. Otherwise, I feel like the actual Moodle, or like the Simlish version of me, is not going to be getting enough social interaction. Wow, that was a good rock right there. That gave me so much iron. Cool. What can I craft next? Now, the developer has said in the email that they sent that this is representative of, like, the release version of the game, so that's something to keep in mind. This game will be releasing into early access, and so be forewarned that this is not a completed product. It's one of those things that you're getting in the door early, probably at a discount, and then, like, hoping the whole thing works out. Oh, the sun's over there. I was gonna say, oh, that's actually got like a quasi day and night cycle. That's kind of cool. All right, let's drop in some more platforms. I think we've earned it. Like a little bit more foot room. One thing I would recommend is when we're placing these parts right here, up above where it says build and rotate, or maybe below it, you're gonna want a preview of how many of the constituent resources the player has that actively goes down as they're placing objects. Like right now, I don't know exactly how many platforms I could possibly place, but having that number available slowly ticking down as I place platforms would be really nice. See, missing required resources, probably the green guys, since I got plenty of the red ones. So I have reasonably terrible news. The filters do not stack. So that's going to be an issue that we're going to run into. I would like to change recipe. We've got nutrient paste over here. I think we could probably go for that. It looks like it takes some carbon dust and some water. We're going to be making some carbon crunchies for ourselves here. Everybody excited about our carbon crunchy dinner? Let's grab some more rocks out here and sort of see what the yield is. I honestly, though, I think that the art style works for what they're making here. Like, I actually think this is a smart decision on the art style front. Inventory is full. Listen, I'm going to give you one extra slot, but only because I love you. I don't know if... Does the color of the rock indicate what you're going to get out of it? I don't think it does. I need ice rocks, though. I need them very badly. You want to send out a little ice... Oh, there's one right there. Say, dude, sometimes you just need to believe, and the universe will manifest the thing that you want for you. Sometimes you've just got to believe that, like, hey, I'm going to get an ice rock out here. I do believe that the next thing we're going to need is going to be some kind of storage medium. So let me get a chest here. I would like them to add an indicator for what the front-facing part of every single buildable is. I don't know if we can actually... Can we move this stuff once it's down? What if I go into destruction mode? No. I would like to be able to pick up and move objects and just replace them in other spots too, sort of RimWorld style. But inside of here, we just need to store things. What we need to store? Probably mostly filters. Got a lot of filters eating up my inventory right now. Did I get my agua? I did get 12 aguas. That's good. Throw those in there and let's see. So the nutrient paste, what flavors do we have? I'd like to imagine we have sort of like a raspberry blast or something, maybe. You know, something with a little bit of zip to it. You know what I mean? A little bit of tangy going on. I will throw the remainder of you inside of there because I want to see what happens. We're smelting paste right now. And then I think finally the thing that we're going to need is a research bench now that we've stabilized all of our various meters. I think the research bench, I think it needed iron plates. So we'll mash out a stack of those. And now that we have the requisite amount of plates, I'm going to take you out of there. And we need to make wires, which is more than likely going to be leaning on our copper supply. Yeah, there it is right there. A couple little wires to throw around. Even better news, we get 2 of these bad boys every single time that it cycles. I'll take that. I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a little... I'm gonna smelt the entire stack, I think, while I work on other things. So we've got a research station here. Let's think about where we want that to go. Research station, fairly obvious which side is the front. I don't know exactly where I want to put it, though. I don't know. I guess I'll just smoosh it right here. There we go. It done been smooshed. Oh, hey, you. Hey, what are you doing? Come over here, asteroid. All right, so with the research bench, it looks like we can play around. Oh, I can build ship. Dude, I'm turning this into a ship. Oh, the tractor beam seems really helpful, though. That's kind of like the equivalent of unlocking nets in Raft. Listen, we're going to start the ship structure, okay? But it sounds like we're going to build this bad boy into like our own little kind of like our own enterprise, maybe? Or like our, you know, our own, our own Serenity. There we go. Our own Kestrel. Nearby source of advanced technology is detected. Okay. Some nearby wreckage is here for you to look at. Where is it? Where the wreckage at? I don't see anything that looks like technology, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to boost up the view distance a little bit. Just to see if it helps, maybe. Just a little bit, not too much. Line of sight might be helpful here. There are definitely asteroids out there that have big green veiny things on them, and I'm sort of interested in what those might be. Is this done? Oh, it is. Nice, dude. So we can get a Crushinator next. Let's get the tractor beam. I'm tired of running around. I have so many wires right now. All right, so with all my wires, we'll put those in there. And then I needed to do silicon wafers. It looks like that requires water and smushy silicon. We only get one for that, too. So we're going to need to track down another available source, possibly. Wow, that thing bounced off our hull, and it's moving. We're going to need a source of water, all right? That's the thing that we're lacking right now. Scan, my minion. Hast thou ice for me? Not really. I'm gonna kind of have to go on like a little away trip, I think, if I want to get ice. But I'm gonna do it anyways, because I like to dangle precariously from like the, you know, the precipice. Go ahead and ice it up again. Just point these out for me, would you? One down here. That'll work. Water's the main stopgap right now. Silica's fine, but I can farm silica pretty easy. It's the water that... Oh, it looks like our platform is throwing a shadow onto those little rocks over here, too. Love it. So many nice little details here for a minimalist game. All right, so we'll grab that. We'll grab that. I guess minimalist is not the right word. Low poly is probably the correct word that I'm looking for. Now that I'm back down on deck, let's get these things going. So I am going to throw... Oh, my inventory is full. We got some water, so we're in okay shape. I actually kind of like cracking open the... I'm not going to lie to you. There is a loot box quality to cracking open rocks to find out what's inside of them that I would like to pretend my brain is immune to that dopamine release, but it is not. It is not immune at all. Not even like a little bit. I'm going to need some more silica in here. You know that feeling that you kind of get like in your equilibrium when you stand in the ocean as the waves go in and out and you look at the horizon, it feels like you're moving and you're not? If I stand right here, all of the asteroids come from a similar direction with a similar trajectory, and it feels like I'm like moving. I don't know. I feel like I'm about to fall over. I feel like I'm about to fall over and beach day is going to be ruined. I think another thing we should talk about is how good this run animation looks. Can I change the FOV? I'd like to get a wider FOV. You can change the FOV. Good stuff. I wanted to get like a better view of my arms as I ran. Yeah, that's a pretty solid run animation right there. Oh, there's the thing. That's technology. I'm gonna go look at it. I think it's too far away. I think I made a mistake. I was looking at my oxygen usage and I was hoping that just inertia would carry me over there. It did not. So I was just gonna pick up speed and just float over there, but it looks like you've got some kind of inertial dampening going on that slows you down a bit as you move, so I don't think we're gonna make it. There's the water, so finally I can get my wafers. I have acquired the wafers. Let's get this tractor beam so I don't have to run around grabbing rocks anymore. Hopefully I can automate it too so that it like spits the outputs that it grabs into like a box, but I'm guessing it's probably just gonna slow things down and pile them up near where it's at. I do want to go after that technology over the... Oh, it's gone. Okay. So what does it take to build a tractor beam? I have questions here. I can build it in the crafter? Okay. So let me see my beam here. What's up with my beam? So it looks like we've got our tractor system. It requires water, wires. We actually have the stuff on hand for that. We can make one right now. I don't know if it's going to need to be powered. Like, I haven't seen anything like a solar panel inside the crafting menu or whatever, but we'll cross that bridge once we get to it. Dude, I've got a shadow. Yay. I don't have legs, weirdly enough. Hey, and there's our tractor system. Nice. So, wrangle asteroids with a low-powered tractor beam. So it is a multi-tool upgrade. Okay. I see what we're doing. I thought it was going to be like a turret. Oh, sweet, dude. Oh, yeah, dude. That's the jam right there. That's way better than flapping my arms. Like, I've been flapping my little flightless arms like an ostrich this entire time to collect my materials. Not anymore. We're collecting like it's the future now. What was the new thing that we unlocked after that was out of the way? So we've got advanced materials. I do think suit propulsion is a really good idea. I've tried a number of ways to make myself faster. I've tried everything from flapping my arms to eating nothing but cauliflower. None of it has helped with my airspeed. All right, none of it. It has, however, led to some very, very, very awkward funerals. It would appear to me that suit propulsion is ready to rock, so let's go ahead and be 40% faster. Because that 40% might be what seals the deal with like an extra, like 40% plus a little bit of an extra oxygen filter with us. Might be able to make it. Hey, suit propulsion's done. Let's see if I'm faster. Superman. Am I faster? I don't feel super fast, but like... I don't really have a lot of objects, though, to sort of, like, judge how quickly I'm moving from either. Here comes the real question. Can I tractor myself to objects that have greater mass than I do? Like my base. Oh, that's a feature you gotta get in there. That's a missed opportunity. For, like, pure funness, that's one of those things that you gotta get in the game. Allow the player to pull themselves around if the mass of the object is larger than the mass of the player. Allow them to use the tractor beam to hookshot themselves slowly towards stuff, and there would be almost like a George of the Jungle swinging from vines momentum you could get going in between asteroids. The game to look at for that, Hard Space Shipbreaker. By the time I had played that game for like 80 hours, I was so good at using my grapple for mobility, it was absurd. So it looks like our next way... Oh, we can get beacons to mark our way home. That's kind of cool. Oh, I can get a crusher, too. So it'll automate the crushing of asteroids and rocks. Yeah, but if it doesn't feed itself somehow, I don't know particularly how helpful that's going to be. Nonetheless, I don't think there's anything else we can do without sort of like going down the tech tree the way the game intends. So let's have a look here. I need more silicon wafers. Silicon wafers are doable. It's just gonna get a little messy. But, oh, there's a battery right there too. I could definitely use a battery. If I just load everything in here, does it have to have specifically only the stuff? Listen, I'm trying to be cheesy right now, okay? Can I just put like every crafting resource in here and then it'll just build? I totally can. That is super awesome, and I love it. It makes me happy. Craft for me a singular battery of power and majesty. It looks to me as though I have to have some kind of like pack or something to make that work. I gotta get rid of some of this. I have way too much carbon, dude. I wasn't aware of this before I played this game, but I think the vast majority of asteroids are just carbon, all right? The other thing I need to make, though, is I needed to make a whole bunch of silica wafers. All right. I like the color palette of this game. I don't know why, but it kind of reminds me of, like, the realm that a cereal box mascot would live in. Like, I could see... Dude, I could see Tony the Tiger living here for, like, a promo. I could see Diggum living here. I could see the Trix Rabbit for sure living here. Like, this just kind of seems like the realm of cereal to me. Another stack of resources. Another research done. Oh, I need 5 batteries to make the beacon thing. Okay. Let's just go with base building for right now. Is there anything? Oh, I can build doors and stuff, dude. Oh, it's going to get pricey, though. It is not going to be cheap. Did I unlock anything new in the smelter? Oh. Well, I could definitely use some air. I definitely like breathing. I'm gonna leave those in there for right now. Oh, I got glass. Okay, yeah, let's stamp out some glass then. Like maybe 10 glass. Hopefully it stacks. But that'll help us build the door thing that we want to build. It looks like that just needs raw silicon. Okay. I'm gonna need a lot more silicon. Day 3 of orbiting, and I wonder if, like, in later on development, you're gonna be able to go down to the planet and, like, use your ship. Bro, I just smacked... You're my only friend out here, and I don't want you to be crushed beneath, you know, a large mound of plagioclase, sir. If you could avoid doing that for me, it'd be great. You're irreplaceable. As of right now, you are my Wilson. Okay, and that's not something that I ascribe to you lightly. So I have many silica chips now. That is good. Hey, I need you to find silicon for me. Just keep pinging and scanning. I need silicon like crazy. All right, well, we've got our materials here. I got to put down some more platforms, though. So we'll kind of even this thing out for right now. I'm going to need a very high roof for this to work. That's one thing that I'm learning. So this is a wall, huh? Oof, I like that nice meaty chunk when you put it down. I call that a glung right there. That's how I describe that noise. That right there, that's a top-tier glung, my bros. That's some serious glungination right there. To me, the word glung, which is kind of like the what's the name of a word that sounds like the thing it is, like cough or sneeze, like onomatopoeia. What's that? There's a word for that, right? There's a word for that. Glung is the one that I made up for like a large metal object being placed with a noisy noise. Oh, there's a technology nearby. Where is it? It just popped up. It said, there is a technology nearby. Nearby source of technology detected. I don't see the little icon for... There it is. There it is right there. It's right there. It's 600... Oh, it's getting closer, too. That makes my life easier. Give me some filters. All right. Let's see if we can get to it. All right, here we go. What is it? I think I see fire or something. Something is glowing. I have questions. I don't know how I acquire... Oh, I just search it. So there's a microprocessor, and what are those right there? Steel ingots? Okay, that wasn't exactly what I expected to find here. Is there, like, more on it? Or is it just that one spot that you interact with, and then you're good to go? Let's check the booty hole real fast. Of the asteroid? Yeah, I don't think the sphincter of the asteroid's gonna have anything for us. My base is really far away right now, and I feel really uncomfortable. I don't know, the idea of just sitting there floating until your oxygen runs out just feels like a really awful premise for a way to expire to me. Finally made it back home. That was a bit of a flight. It took some effort. You had to want to be here. I'll put it like that. I really don't have any iron left. I need to find a couple rocks to give me some iron. But it looks like we've got, so provide structural support for rugged ships and deployables. Yeah, it's not that steel is really hard. Steel is actually, a lot of people think that steel is a hard metal. It's actually not if you look at the hardness scale. What steel has is a disproportionate tensile strength, which is entirely different from hardness. Tensile strength is effectively the ability to withstand stress and strain. Which is quite different from hardness, which is really just the ability to, like, displace the atoms of another substance or element, you know what I mean? So you take something like corundum, for example, which is ruby. That's very, very, you know, that's very hard. You could rub it on this steel wall right here, and it would definitely shred a chunk out of it. Whereas you build a bridge out of corundum, and that thing's gonna fall over instantly. It's very brittle. Doesn't have tensile strength. There we go. I have restored my iron supply so that we can get back to the buildinating of an actual interior area that we dwell inside of, so that we're not, like, you know, absorbing all the nuclear radiation in the universe with our kidneys. That's... I've been kidney tanking this whole time, but ultimately I feel that plan is doomed to fail. We also have another technology that was off in the distance, but I don't know if they despawn or not. Looks like he's getting closer to me. Like, maybe I just wait and see if that one comes to me. I don't know. I'm lazy. I mean, it certainly feels like it's coming towards me. One could posit the argument that maybe something that size coming towards me is actually a really bad thing for the structural integrity of this base. I suppose we'll have to wait and find... Hey, listen, man. Don't fly... Is my character Naruto running right now? I was watching his shadow. Sorry, I get sidetracked easily. Let's see. We've got a few more plates coming on in. I do need a door. I would say that just slap it somewhere. Cool. I've got a laser door. Nice. I've always wanted a laser door. I feel like the laser door is kind of like integral to convincing people that we're like a spacefaring race. I'm gonna need some lights too. It's getting dark in here. When the lights go down on the splatty. Alright, getting there. Slowly getting there. This definitely seems like a team game. I can tell that right now, is that like this is a game that having teammates would make this go much more rapidly. Like base building by yourself in Rust versus base, like you base build by yourself in Rust, you make like a little like 3x3 cubby hole, you know what I mean? Like you do the best you can, but when you got like 4 people on your team in Rust, that's when you start to really bust out the crazy stuff. I believe the technology might be about as close as it's gonna be. Unfortunately, I'm out of filters. This was a mistake. I'm gonna suffocate and die. I hope they add like rounded blocks too, so that you can actually round this thing out and make it look like a starship or make it look like a station. So far, I'm impressed though. This is the product of one guy working on this, and it definitely has that raft vibe in a different environment, from the little details like the run animation and the fact that when I turn on my tractor beam, he flips around his pickaxe. Like, let me see here. Oh, I'm in build mode. There we go. Take me out of build mode and like watch my little tool. See, like he like flips it around and then it like opens up on one side so you can tractor beam things. There's like little animations and things that have been squirreled into some of the stuff that you can achieve, and I like that. The run animation actually kind of reminds me of the run animation in Deep Rock Galactic, which is actually high praise. That's super high praise because I kind of worship the ground that the Deep Rock Galactic developers walk on. I think that they are everything that is right in game development when it comes to like balancing reward versus cost and like not poaching every last single nickel out of your audience that you possibly can. They're the ones that are just knocking it out of the park without having to sacrifice, you know, their beliefs and whatnot. I respect that. I respect that very much. But that's about all the time we have for today. Hopefully you check this game out. It's called Drift. I would say that for an early access, feels pretty good to me. The performance issues are the main thing. Like, the game absolutely does not like it when you have that draw distance out pretty far, but there's no stutters or anything happening right now, and I think that's like a perfectly fine draw distance. It's not bad. Like, that's perfectly fine. I mean, if you wanted to see what it looked like absolutely cranked, we could do that. That's what it looks like cranked, but it just gets like these big chugs, I think is it. Yeah, there it is. You can already see it. It gets like these big, massive chugs. Like, I would absolutely love to play the game with it on full Fruity Pebble mode like this, but like, that's gonna have to be seen to first, because unfortunately my rig can't handle it, and I just get these big, big frame drops. But yeah, Drift, other than the frame drops when you've got things maxed out, which part of that is me just being like a PC elitist and being like, how could I play a game where I can't not max out all the settings? My visual fidelity. It's perfectly fine like this, though, and then it doesn't hitch, and it still looks like you're inside of an asteroid field, so, like, part of that is just me being an elitist. But if the option is there, it'd be nice if it was optimized well enough to run, but this is the first patch of an early access, and everything else other than that has me interested in wanting to play more. So that's a good sign. This is Drift. I got a link for you down below. It's time for me to go. Thanks for hanging out, and I will be back tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the Indie Splat. Bye, folks.